Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your October 2018 general readings. Thank you for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, and for those of you who continue to follow my YouTube videos wherever I'm at. As those of you who follow me know, I like to travel quite a bit. I am actually still in Europe, but I'm recording these at the very last few days of September. So by the time you see these in the beginning of October, I will be back home in California. But thank you for those of you who continue to follow me wherever I'm at, and to all of my clients too, regular and new, who keep me busy wherever I'm at as well with personal readings. If any of you are interested in a personal reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more information and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage, clicking on that little About button, or clicking on the description bar of any of the videos that I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. Turnaround time is pretty quick. I do readings full time, 5 to 6 days a week, and I can usually get back to you within the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And scheduling can be anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within 2 weeks or so we can set something up for you. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, so email me if you're interested and we'll go from there. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the water sign of Pisces, our lovely mercurial little fish, for the month of October 2018. General readings always resonate a little differently for everybody watching, so if you know your rising and moon sign, watch those too. They can give you additional insight. All right, Pisces, let's see what's in store for you for October 2018. All right, Pisces, we begin with the Seven of Swords, followed by the Four of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands, followed by the World. We have the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Ace of Wands. And we have the Ace of Cups, followed by Death. Wow, 2 aces, 2 endings, 2 beginnings, and 2 ending cards. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice and focus for the month of October 2018 is the Chariot. So things are definitely going to be moving forward in a very powerful sort of way. It's about staying focused on your goals, being ambitious, and moving forward in a very powerful, successful way, and not allowing anything to get in your way, which is what your overall energy with the Chariot is. It's about taking your will, determination, your skill, your knowledge, your resources, and manifesting them externally to propel something forward in a very powerful and a successful way. And it comes from, this is a card, it's one of the most powerful success cards in the tarot. It's a card about winning by sheer determination, grit, perseverance, because you won't give up. You won't stop. You won't take your eyes off the goal, the prize. You'll keep going until you get to where you want to get. That's the overall energy. And it's a kind of a pretty powerful energy too. Very, very post full moon energy that we just had. Kind of moving us out of a place where things may have been stuck or slow moving for some time. But it looks like there's some undercover stuff going on here, because we end September, begin October with the Seven of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. I almost want to laugh. Oh, I am laughing. I'm not laughing at you. Well, I am, but not in a bad way. Because I get this sort of impression, this feeling when I very first laid these cards down. The Seven of Swords, sometimes called a thief card, but even then the thief card can sometimes get a negative or bad rap, because sometimes we have to sometimes operate in a slippery or deceptive way to kind of get things accomplished, or get our own way, or kind of move ahead and accomplish something we want to accomplish. The advice, of course, is not to do it in a way that harms another person. Because sometimes this card can represent actual theft, somebody actually being sneaky and stealing something, and the Four of Pentacles is holding on very tightly, not wanting to let go of something. So hopefully some of you haven't embezzled money from the company funds and are hopping a plane and of leaving it all behind. It almost looks that way for some of you, but hopefully this isn't the truth, because, I mean, come on, folks, karma, right? It's going to come back to you in one form or another. But this can just represent also, it can represent actual theft, like you actually taking something or somebody taking something from you, maybe even in a very blatant middle of the day kind of way, or feeling maybe exploited or taken from. But it can also represent doing something in a secretive or deceptive way, or being very secretive about your plans or what you intend to do, especially if you're intending on maybe making a major change or leaving something behind, maybe being very secretive and kind of not talking to people about it, you know, kind of being off the grid and holding your cards pretty close to your chest, and not really revealing your plans to somebody, which is actually what I feel more of, particularly in looking at the rest of this spread. I feel like a lot of you are maybe being very secretive about something. For some of you, it could be somebody close to you, but I'm not feeling that. I'm not getting that message. So what clarifies the Seven of Swords, and also I apologize for any hoarseness. I'm at the very tail end of a cold, and I feel pretty good. I've just got that residual raspiness, so forgive me if I sound like a frog. Gribbet. So what clarifies the Seven of Swords is the Four of Pentacles, which is a card of holding on very tightly. It's sometimes called the Miser card. So in actual dollars and cents, it can represent being very frugal or being very economical. And for a small portion of you, you may have, maybe somebody may have stolen from you, or you may have invested in something that turned out to be like a real dud, and you may have to be really tightening your belt quite tightly. But I feel like for some of you, this is a card of holding on to what you have and holding on very tightly. And sometimes it can represent not being willing to, you know, being very closed off or guarded or protective about something. And again, I'm feeling like for the majority of you, a large portion of you, you're making plans because you have these two major ending cards and then two cards that represent beginnings. So I feel like you may be wrapping something up at the end of September, transitioning into October. Of course, timing is fluid. It's going to vary a little for all of you watching. You're making plans to do something, and you're either not talking to anybody about it, or not talking to very many people, or being kind of maybe secretive about what you're doing, or just, you know, kind of keeping your cards close to your chest and really kind of holding on to that. Again, you may be holding on to... Oh, I just got that some of you are holding on to knowledge of something, knowledge of somebody else's deception. That's interesting. That just came through. Some of you are, wow, some of you were recently made aware of somebody else's deceptive behavior in some way, or sneaky behavior, or thieving behavior, and you're keeping that to yourself for the time being. That's interesting that came through. Not quite sure how that ties in with the rest of this, but we'll see as if something else comes through as we go on. But the majority of you, it's just you're keeping something under wraps. You're holding it literally very close to your chest. Of course, there's always the possibility that some of you are taking something, keeping it to yourself, not telling anybody, and then you're making off with it into the night in some form or another. Those of you that feel that resonates with and you're comfortable sharing, please do, because I got that right from the very beginning, which is interesting. So next to that, we have the Knight of Wands and the World. It's like the World is a card of major ending and completion. That's what clarifies the Knight of Wands. It's the last major arcana card in the tarot. The first card is the Fool, and he has the 0 at the top of his card, and the Fool is symbolic of us. And all the tarot cards after that are about our journey through life and how we learn and grow and evolve, ideally anyway, and how we, you know, sometimes make very painful mistakes and learn that way until we get to the last major arcana card in the tarot, which is the World. We've reached the top of the mountain, the top of the world. It's a card of endings, completion, and achievement. But what crowns it is the Knight of Wands, which is, Knights usually represent offers and opportunities, moving at very fast-moving energy, fast-moving situations. Out of all 4 of the Knights, because knights are spontaneous and impulsive. They're known for their knights, charge, missions and quests. But out of all four of the knights, the Knight of Wands is the fastest because he's governed by the element of fire, which governs wands. So this is very fast-moving, aggressive, charge kind of energy, artistic and creative energy, but very much about building and moving very, very fast, a very passionately enthusiastic energy. But it's clarified by this ending. So, this having reached the top of a mountain, having reached a point of completion and achievement, and you're moving on very rapidly towards something else, or rapidly towards this completion, which is interesting because the Chariot is also charging off for something new. So, and then the rest, the next half of your cards, like the last half of October, it's all about new offers and opportunities and new beginnings and moving on from that. So it looks like Pisces. For some of you, it looks like you've, scooped the family money or the company money, and you're off and running. Others of you, you're just bringing something to a close in some way. It might be a job. It might be a career path. You could be retiring, or you could be ending one job and moving to another, but you're not really telling anybody about it until the last minute, or you're just letting them find out by you're just not showing up there. It could be you could be doing the same thing in relationships. Not really getting too much of that. It feels like it's some other kind of situation, and it could be some of you, you're just making plans to do something. Maybe it's moving, retiring, another job, something of that sort, but some major part of your life or chapter of your life is coming to a close. You may be being quite secretive about it, or even deceptive. It may have involved gathering some things or taking some things and keeping kind of secretive about that, and then bringing things to an end, to this completion in a very quick, rapid way. And then we transition into a different part of energy for the next half of the month, the last half of the month, which is the Knight of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. Here's another knight right next to the Knight of Wands. He's a slower moving knight, the slowest moving of all the knights, because he's governed by Earth, which drives the suit of Pentacles. Practical, tangible, concrete energy, money, finances, property, real estate, etc. He'll see the job through beginning to end without any shortcuts. It's another tangible, practical offer opportunity, maybe a little more slow moving, but still abundant. Could be sometimes the Knight of Pentacles shows up for a job offer or opportunity, or just some other kind of concrete, tangible, practical offer or opportunity, maybe a little slower moving, but still promises, holds a lot of potential in it. It's a brand new beginning, the offer for a new beginning, or something which sparks off some creative, inspirational spark about starting off on something new, because it's clarified by the Ace of Wands. Aces represent the number 1, so they always represent a new beginning, a new start, a new path, or the opportunity for that. This is Wands, fire energy, so it's an exciting new beginning, an exciting new opportunity, a flash of creativity, spark. It's passionate, it's enthusiastic, it's about building something, particularly in looking towards the future. So an exciting, brand new, inspirational new beginning this offer or opportunity is bringing. And then at or towards the end of the month, we have the Ace of Cups and death or transformation. Another new beginning, but this is emotional in nature. This is a new beginning which has the heart opening up again, feeling positive and hopeful and emotional, but in a positive, beautiful, happy way. Sometimes represents new love and romance, emotional renewal within an already existing relationship or situation as well, because of this ending of something that's been there for quite some time, because it's clarified. It's accompanied by death, which is transformation, also a card of major, a significant chapter ending in a pretty major way. Death represents the complete clearing out of the ground so that something new can be planted and grow and manifest over time, because birth follows death, beginnings follow endings. It's just the way that it is, and every ending are the seeds for a new beginning. It's or transformation, complete and utter transformation of an already existing situation. And typically when it's an ending, when death shows up, it usually represents that it's something old, it's something that's been there for a while, which would make sense because the world, it takes quite a while to get to the world. It's the last major arcana card in the deck. It's a card of reaching the top of a particularly significant mountain. So something which has been in place for some time is coming to an end. Again, there's a sense of secrecy or quietness about it. Maybe you may have done some things which other people may not approve of. And then you're moving very quickly. I'm interested to get some feedback on this, Pisces. There's this new offer opportunity, which is really exciting and emotional in nature as you're bringing this to a close, and you're moving forward quite powerfully. You're very focused for the month of October, very focused on whatever this end goal or this thing that you're going for is, because that remembers your overall energy with the Chariot. So how this plays out, of course, is going to vary for everybody watching. I love getting feedback. I always read my feedback. But this one, I am particularly curious as to how this plays out. So please let me know, those of you who are comfortable with doing it. So, Pisces, that pretty much sums up your October 2018 reading. Very, very interesting. Can't wait to hear about it. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading, just go to my YouTube channel's homepage, click on that little About button, or click on the description bar of any of the videos I post for more info on my contact details. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'll get right back to you with more information, and turnaround time is usually pretty quick. I do love and romance, of course, compatibility charting, and reconciliation possibilities under that umbrella. I do career work and finance readings and investment readings as well, channeled messages from passed on loved ones, and I also do 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at all the main areas in your life for 6 or 12 months, what's coming in, depending on how far ahead you want to look. And I also offer gift readings, which are, as we're entering the holiday season, are particularly popular. I always get a lot of requests or orders for those, as well as gifts for personal readings, as gifts for friends and family, so you may want to consider that. So Pisces, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the October 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.